What's up, everyone? It is Sunday. I'm currently en route to Winterberg for the last selection races for the Germans. The Germans have their last selection race and I'm forerunning there, and then we are heading for Lillehammer next week. But today, well, for the past couple of months I haven't trained on Sunday, and since this is the last episode in my series, Atypical X Day, I wanted to do a Q&A, and I asked Instagram to give me some questions. I haven't received a lot, but we will answer the ones that I got. Alright, so the first question is a really good one, and essentially the translation from Danish to English would be, how do you stay motivated? And for me it's all about remembering why I'm doing what I'm doing, especially short term and then the long term goals. So short terms would be competitions, and then long term would be the impact I want to have on sport, on skeleton, and also just the average people at home, so the ones I want to inspire through my sport. And yeah, that's essentially how I stay motivated. So the next question is if I have any plans to study on the university, and the answer is no. My plans and intentions are not to study anytime soon. This is what I want to pursue. I want to make a career out of the brand that I have more than one, sort of explaining that as an athlete doing a niche sport, you need a good setup, you need to find the right people in order for you to succeed and essentially make a profession out of the sport that not a lot of people are making a lot of money off. And I want to teach other people that, and through that then eventually when I'm done with sports, also make a living out of that. So at the moment that means I have to convince some sponsors that what I want to do can also inspire others, and then eventually I'll figure my money plan out and my business strategy out in the future. But no, I don't have any plans to study anytime soon. So it's like 2.5 hours later, and I've done my second stop for the day, and we're answering some more questions. My sister actually did answer a lot of questions, just so I had some at least. Some of them just being some intern humor, some fun stuff that we would only understand. But one question she asked is, who's your favorite person? And I'm gonna translate that into, well, convert it into who is your biggest inspiration. And there's this badminton player in Denmark who's called Victor Axelsen, and he has really shown what dedication and like very minor work, or like every detail, what that can do. And he last year became Olympic champion and has slowly just each year gotten better and better, and now he's like this dominant figure in badminton, and I find that to be a huge inspiration. I've heard stories about him going to bed at like 8:30 and stuff like that, all his youth. And to me, well, that sort of mindset to perform doesn't fit everyone, but to me that just makes a lot of sense. Obviously you want to relax and have fun also in your youth, but I mean, I want to do everything that I can and is in my power to perform, and that is, for instance, go to bed early, eat the right stuff, and he has been an example to that. And yeah, that's why I look up to him as a biggest inspiration. Next question is a bit weird. What is your favorite toe? I don't know. I've heard the big toe is very important in order to like gain speed and your balance and control, but importance is just that your toes aren't crammed together like this. You have to be strong in the feet in order to create power. So fun question, but there's really a lot of thought behind that? Well, you can put a lot of thought behind how your feet work, and if you have strong feet, I've heard you can perform good when you want to create speed. So yeah, keep that in mind if you didn't know that. Next question is from myself, in case you wonder, what other sports I have done. So basically when I was little, I just tried a lot of stuff out. I have been swimming. I didn't have a lot of success with soccer, but I also played handball. I've done a bit of gymnastics, biking, like race biking or bicycling or whatever you say. And then I also did track and field, the decathlon. I stuck with that for a long time, and that also made a transition into, well, my transition into going full-time on skeleton a lot easier because of the movements and a lot of training that you have to do. The explosive training that you also have to do is also what we're doing in preparation for skeleton. So the decathlon is what I stuck with, I think, the longest. Track and field for 5-6 years maybe, and now I'm putting all my energy into skeleton. What was I thinking? And yeah, to be quite honest, I also haven't done my last decathlon. For the past 2 years I haven't done any competitions, because last year I wanted to just focus on making that Olympics, qualify for the Olympics. I didn't succeed in that. But you know, I really wanted to say that I had done everything that I could, and that just involved like with planning and preparation and build up towards the decathlon that doesn't really go hand in hand with a skeleton season. But I really want to do a decathlon sometime in the future because a lot of my friends are still doing decathlon and we've met each other there. So one time we'll get back on track and fight it out there. So for the past 1.5 hours, I have been listening to a podcast where one of the questions was, what are you without the thing that you love or are passionate about currently? And for me, that is skeleton. And so I thought it would be fun to sort of, you know, think about that. What am I without skeleton? And at the moment, I feel like I am growing. I want to be like a driven person. I am a driven person. I'm a caring person. I'm a loving person. I'm also an emotional person. A lot of people don't think about that about me, but I am very emotional. Like also once in a while outgoing, just, you know, showing the feelings, showing that you can cry in public, and that's totally fine. And yeah, that is what I am. Like, I feel like I'm growing with skeleton, but even if you've removed skeleton as an aspect, I would still be very driven in whatever I wanted to do. And I feel like that has come from my upbringing, that you either do something, like you do it at 100% or you don't do it. So that's, I feel like I would be who I am, like even without skeleton, and that's also even if you removed it. But I don't think it would be like that for everybody. And the last question is one that I actually got on Instagram, and that is that the person wanted to see more behind the scenes content. And I will do that. I have rediscovered my love for filming and editing. Well, in fact, I now have time. And I'll also talk a bit about that in the next video, which I've actually already filmed and uploaded. But essentially, I will bring the camera to more competitions. This week in Winterberg, I won't be filming too much, but next week in Lillehammer, my dad and sister will be there, so I will actually get to film. And I can film without thinking too much about it, because I obviously have to focus on the competition, and then my sister and dad will focus on the filming, or I'll ask them kindly to help me film. So that is it for this video. I will now drive the 1 hour to Winterberg and start sliding there. A lot of good sliding this week will happening, and then I'll see you in the next video, which has already been filmed, and the video after that has already also been filmed, and then in the video after that will actually be the next video I'll film. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.